All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our stopper and find the mass of it. But before we do that, so I guess the first thing we're going to do is to make sure that this is on 0. And let's see how close we are. That's pretty darn close. All right, that's looking pretty well lined up to me. So that is with back to on 0, and that being on what looks to me like 0. So I'm now going to take the stopper, put it on here, and obviously not balanced, so let's sort of adjust this. It's less than 30 grams, looks like barely less than 30 grams. I'm going to pause this until I get it balanced. All right, so that is what to me looks like balanced. So now let's come over here. The back one is on 20, the middle one's on 0, and this one is I am now going to thread the string through the holes, and I will come back when I've done that. All right, just to give you some idea, it is tied now, but that's the brand AHTCO and HR10. Can't quite tell, but I think it's an 8. Or maybe it's an HR10 8. And then you can see it's a stopper size or type. That is definitely an 8. All right, so let's get some measurements. I'm going to pause again. The goal is to have the bottom of the tube at that red mark right there, and there's the top of the tape, so let's get that distance measured. The goal is to have the distance from the bottom of the tube to the piece of tape to be constant, and so that red mark right there is where the bottom of the tube is going to be. So basically the middle, that which I tried to line up at the 6, and then to the top of the tape over on this side over here, and that's for recording that distance, and that's going to try to keep that constant throughout the lab. Put a red mark at the top of the tube. I've got the bottom of the tube situated where I want it, and the top of the tube is at that red mark right there. So basically the distance L, I think in most of the labs, distance from there to the other end, we need to measure that distance. So I have the meter stick here, and center mass of the stopper is about there. And I am stretching it some because, well, when it's swinging, it will be stretched. And so the top of the tube, let's zip back over here. You can see where it lines up, I think, decently well. And you can see that the bottom of the tube is lined up with the red mark down there. Top of the tube with the red mark there. And I'm going to have to adjust the lab to reflect that this is more than 70 centimeters. All right, so you should be able to get a measurement there. I'm going to be doing some work with the balance again, and to me that looks lined up. So now I'm going to start measuring some of the other masses. The claim is that's a 200 gram mass. So first off, I'm going to take this is supposed to be a 200 gram mass, and so we'll see how close it actually gets. Okay, it looks just slightly off, so I'm going to pause this till I get it set up right. All right, so there it is again, and so now it is balanced. And the back's on 0, that's on 200, and that is where it is. You can sort of judge that. So now we're going to do the 100 gram mass here, put that on the balance, and I'll be back when I have that one done. All right, to me it looks slightly off, so I'm going to adjust it. That's when it's on 100. So again, I'm going to pause it till I get it better balanced. All right, to me that looks better. So we have the back one on 0, the middle one on 100, and this one right there. And let's see if I can get an actual photo of it. We're now going to take the one that is marked as 50 grams and see how close we get. It's going to be a little bit off balance there, but that should not affect the overall mass. And putting it on 50, it gets to there, so it looks like it's just slightly under 50, and I will come back when I have that done. All right, that's where it is, and to me that looks even. All right, so the back one is on 40, the middle one is on 0, and then the front one. I'm just going to take a picture. So now we're going to find the mass of the other 200 gram mass, and you can see, hopefully you can see that's 200 right there. And this one I put a red mark on to differentiate it from the first one that we did, which does not have that red mark. So put it on the balance. I know it should be somewhere around 200 grams. And let's see how close we get here. All right, so it looks like it is slightly under 200 grams. So I will come back after I've got it stable and properly aligned. That's looking pretty well lined up, and that is on 0 back there, on 200 right there, and starting out with 100 grams. So run 1, we got 100 grams, and that's in quotation marks. You know what the mass is, or you'll figure it out at some point. All right. Stable. Third run at 100 grams, in quotation marks. Fourth run. run 5 at 100 grams. All right, so now I have 150 grams, 150 grams. Trial 1, 150 grams. I think that should have been it. All right, trial 2. Trial 4 at 150. So now I'm going to be doing the 200 gram mass, the one that does not have the red dot. Yep. All right, so trial 2 at 200 grams.
All right, this has 300 on it, and the 200, that's a 200 and a 100. The 200 does not have the red dot. So now I have both 200s on here, the one with the dot and one without the dot. Oh, that better be it. I'm getting too old for this.